You are listening to the IFH Podcast Network. For more amazing filmmaking and screenwriting podcasts, just go to ifhpodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome to the Successful Screenwriter Podcast, where we discuss anything and everything screenwriting. Here we interview successful screenwriters and filmmakers to find out just what it takes to make it in the industry. Just a heads up, this episode is brought to you by my book, The Guide for Every Screenwriter, which has been listed as one of the best screenwriting books of all time by the Book Authority. If you're looking for something that reveals the secrets of screenwriting in an easy to understand and engaging way, then this is the book for you. You can find The Guide for Every Screenwriter at thesuccessfulscreenwriter.com/books. Now, on to the show. All right, welcome to the podcast. I have a pretty awesome guest today, producer and actor Suzanne Johnson. Thanks for being on with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I saw this film, The World Without You. I thought it was really great. And kind of the cool thing about it is, I like to watch TV and the wife is always with me. And she'll kind of fiddle on her phone here and there when I'm watching movies. But this one kept pulling her out of it because it was that good of a drama. So we ended up really watching it together.
Good.
So I was really excited to get you on the show so we could talk about it. So first, if you could give us your origin story about where you came from, maybe what made you find this project, because I know you are the producer of this. You made it happen.
Yeah. Well, I came into acting late. Around 2014, I decided I'm actually a nurse. I've been for 40 years, and
you're a real life hero.
Well, thank you. I am retired now, but I have been doing mission work for many years. Go to Guatemala, and I wanted to do something a little different, and I kind of fell into this. My ex-husband bid on a silent auction prize for Be a Model for a Day. He said,
cool.
"Oh, this sounds fun." So I went, and I had pictures taken, and the wife of the photographer is an agent, and she says, "Have you ever thought about modeling or acting?" And I said, "No, never." She says, "Well, do you want to try it?" I thought, okay, let me try it. So I jumped right in, and then I had done some submissions and decided I probably should maybe take some acting classes.
Yeah.
and then just embarked on this. And so about a year later, I was working with my acting coach, who turned out to be my director of the film. And, you're told, if you want to get your name out there, and especially coming into this as late as I did, you have to produce something. You have to put yourself out there. You have to create your own content.
Right.
And so working with him, he had suggested this. He suggested several scripts, and none of them spoke to me. And then he said, "Well, there's this book that I had been wanting to option rights for, over the years, and you might like it." So I read it, The World Without You by Joshua Henkin, and absolutely fell in love with it. It was just Marilyn, who is one of the lead characters.
Yeah.
She's me.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, in many ways. And so I connected with it, and we just started the ball rolling. He had a friend who was a screenwriter out of New York, Daniel Pulick, who had written Fanboys.
That's a great film.
Yeah. And so this is his thing, though, is dramas. These family dramas is something that he enjoys, and he's good at. And obviously he's good at, because he wrote a spectacular script.
Yeah.
And we, just by, it's who you know in LA. And I'm in Chicago. So he, my director at the time, had worked with Valerie McCaffrey many years ago. And she agreed to cast the film. And so then the script goes out there, and we got a response. The kind of response we got was not what we expected. We had many people coming to us, agents saying, "Hey, I want my talent to audition for this." We had people audition for roles that don't audition.
That's amazing.
It was really awesome. So we went through the process. We cast the film, and happened to get this really dynamic group of people together, and it just worked.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. This is a little side story. Is Annika Marks and Chris Mulkey? I didn't know this, but they are very close friends. Her husband is a close friend of Chris's, and the night before she's getting ready to fly here and he's getting ready to fly here, they're on the phone and they're talking. He goes, "Yeah, I'm taking off for Chicago for a project." She goes, "Really? I am too." And she goes,
awesome.
he goes, "What project?" And it turns out it's The World Without You, and they're playing father and daughter. And so it was such a cool story. I thought that it's kind of fate.
Yeah. No, that camaraderie is really there. You can feel it. I mean, this is an ensemble about a family that is recovering from the death of a son and brother overseas. It's I mean, that's a lot of our family stories, unfortunately, around the country right now, with everybody pulling out of all of these wars and everything. This one centers around a journalist instead of a soldier, which is an even more unique take on it.
Right. And it's something that, as a mother and a grandmother, it's unfathomable to me, And so I connected with Marilyn in that she couldn't get past it and wasn't really allowed to grieve.
I thought it was amazing. Yeah, her character, and you played her so well in the script, and it's just an enthralling story because you have such interesting characters. They're all different, but they all come from the same root. So they're all Jewish Americans, and you have the moderate Jewish American. You have the one daughter that moved to Israel, and then you have Radha Mitchell, who I think is amazing, by the way.
She is great,
and she's an atheist in the film. So you have all three of these coming at each other, and at the same time, it's on the anniversary of their brother's death. So it's incredibly moving.
Well, thank you. I felt like it was, a lot of films deal with death and the aftermath in the immediate, the funeral, how the big chill. Everybody comes together.
Right.
They celebrate the life of somebody, but you don't always. Well, many times you don't get to see what happens a year later.
Yeah.
Have they moved on? The movie ends, and then you wonder, well, how did they do? Did they stay together? Did they break up? Did everybody move on with their lives? And you get a glimpse into the dynamic of the family, how it's changed, and how each individual's life has changed for the better or worse. And
I think it's significant. Yeah. And that's the thing, is it is about the change. Whether it is better, whether it is worse, it is about how somebody has changed. And I love the fact that the twist on it is this is the aftermath. This is the long haul version of loss. And I think that's really interesting, and centering it around an anniversary of a death is actually something that I haven't seen before. So I thought that was really a brilliant idea. And then getting this cast together. So when you're getting ready to shoot this, and you're prepping for the role, because you're producing and you're starring it, I mean, did you feel like
many hats?
Yeah, did you feel like you were being pulled in so many different directions?
Yes. So a little backstory. I didn't do a small film. I had never done this before.
Yeah.
And so I just jumped in, and
good for you.
I made a lot of mistakes that I'll never make again. But I wore many hats. And so because I didn't know who to have in place to do these things, I ended up doing a lot of it myself. And so it got to be a joke. We had to replace a lot of the crew, like in the first 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, because they just budgets and just not choosing wisely. And anyway, so we got a wonderful first AD that came on a little about 10 days into the shoot. And she knew, she got it going. And so she would come into the room. And so each day there was always a fire to put out. And I think that's movie making. I didn't know. I'd never made a movie.
Yeah.
And so she comes in and she says, okay, so I need the producer right now. And so okay, my producer hat's on. And then she would tell me what disaster had befallen. And I'd go, okay, let me think about it a minute. Okay, so we're going to do this, and this. Call this person, arrange that. And then I said, is that it? And she says, for now. And then I would say, okay,
yeah,
actor hat.
Yeah.
And I'd go on set.
But that's what you had to do as a nurse, right? I mean, as a nurse, you're problem solving all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I found out that I'm really good at spinning plates.
Yeah. You already had the inherent skill set to take this on. I think that's awesome because it is a make or break moment. You can get too in over your head and then everything can fall apart if you fall apart. So you keep it together, you keep the ship going straight, and you produced, I mean, it's an awesome film. It really pulls you into it. You guys, did you do the festival circuit first or did you just try and go for distribution?
We attempted to do the festival circuit, and so it's like anything else, we got a lot of rejections, and then
I find that hard to believe.
Well, me too, but that's the reality of it. Wow. Dramas, this is the business side of movie making and acting.
Yeah,
is dramas are a hard sell. They don't make a lot of money, and people, the powers that be, and the festivals, and they want the edgy, they want the different, they want the comedy, they want the horror, they want all of that other stuff, and this is just a straight up drama.
Yeah.
And so that's a harder sell. And so Dances with Films came along and they loved the film and they said, yes, we want you to premiere at our festival.
That's wonderful.
So we did. And then we embarked on, after that, it made it easier to find people interested in distributing the film. It wasn't easy, but another 6-7 months, we had our distributor.
It just takes that one yes. I mean, especially from a screenwriter's perspective, nobody loves you until somebody loves you.
Yeah, and you just need one.
Yeah,
we don't need a bunch of people. We just need one.
You got that one yes, and then that kind of got the ball rolling and kind of get a bit of a bump, and then you got distribution, so you're all over streaming channels now, right?
Yeah, we're everywhere.
We're
fantastic. On Amazon Prime, so you can watch us for free.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so awesome. The World Without You is great. I think it's a really good drama, and what I really like about it is it's a realistic approach. I mean, how many dramas do you sit there and you watch and you go, it's hyper realized so that no one is going through these issues or reacting in this way. But if you have a spouse, if you have a sibling, and you have lost somebody, this is exactly what you're going to be going through, and it's shown in all of these different aspects between the power struggles of couples, the power struggles of the brothers and sisters. It was absolutely amazing, and to see all of that played out, it can actually be kind of cathartic.
I hope so. I mean, the comment that I've had from many people that have watched it is, it's something I was still thinking about the next day.
Oh, that's a compliment.
Yeah, I was very complimented, and I thought, well, that's what you want. I want people to think.
Yeah, that's it. And that's how you touch people, and that's how you help change the world with a little film. It's absolutely amazing. So, you knocked it out of the gate with your first time. So amazing. So, do you have the bug? I mean, you've got some success under your.
Yeah, I'm actually working on something else right now, but it's not my. I'm just I'm involved in it.
Are you?
To take the helm? I'm not sure if I'm up for that. But I'm very happy to be executive producer and a producer on a film.
That's awesome. Are you going to keep acting?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm I took stock of my life during the pandemic and what I really wanted, and I have a beautiful life, and I have kids and grandkids spread out across the country, and I don't want anything to interfere with that. So I'm going to pick and choose projects that I work on.
Wow.
I probably won't work much, but that's okay with me.
Yeah.
I'm at a stage of my life that
Are you gonna be the Daniel Day-Lewis where you come out with one amazing film every 10 years?
Well, I hope, my horizon's a little bit shorter than his. No, I'm working on an amazing film right now that I think that I'm going to be acting in. It's
Awesome.
a smaller role, but it's set in Chicago, and it's sizing up to be a really it's a true story and really powerful film. So,
Well, I think that's great. A lot of screenwriters are trying to get out there and get their own stuff made, and that's just what you did. You did it as an actor. If you can do it as an actor, you can do it as a screenwriter. So
yes.
you went into this kind of blind, right? You didn't know what was going to happen, and then you stepped up to the challenge. So what kind of advice do you have for other people that are out there that they want to decide, you know what, I'm going to use all of my connections I can and try and get something made?
Well, persevere, and
Okay.
you have to be resilient in this business. You have to understand that the business of filmmaking and acting is just not fun.
Yeah.
I intensely dislike it, but it's a necessary evil. It's part of the process. In order to do the fun part, you got to get through the business of it. And networking, and develop relationships with people. I don't network. I have relationships with people. And if you're honest and forthright and good, people respond to that. I mean,
that's awesome.
I would probably attribute some of my success to being that I'm who I am. I'm very honest.
Oh, you're a sweetheart.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice.
Yeah.
And what you see is what you get. And I don't lie, and I don't steal. I don't misrepresent myself. And I surround myself with people that are like that. And I won't have anything to do with people that aren't.
Integrity is important, isn't it?
Absolutely, especially in this business, because it is in short supply.
I agree with you. I've run into quite a few shady people, quite a few shady players that are happy to capitalize on whatever successes you've made.
Mm-hmm.
And it can burn you so hard, and it can turn you away from the business too. So you have to be, really careful who you let in the door, I guess you could say.
Right. And you'll make mistakes. I did with this film, and it was a very big learning experience, a loss of my innocence.
Well, I think it's a testament to your character and your strength as an individual to be able to pull it off. So The World Without...
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I really enjoyed it. The World Without You on Amazon Prime and streaming. Yeah. I enjoyed it. My wife liked it. So there you go.
Great.
And
spread the word. Say, hey, if you catch this.
I asked my audience for interns the other day, if that tells you anything. So
how'd it go?
Yeah, I actually got responses. So there you go. Yeah.
So
all right.
Listening. That's great.
I have a lot of people listening.
I'm just joking with you. Seriously.
For the one person that's listening in the car, thank you. No. All right. Well, Susan, thanks so much for being on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's really nice meeting you.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share in your social media, where you can tag us at The Successful Screenwriter.